everybody, and welcome back. This is Frankie Valentine,
This is Sarah Billiot.
I'm Patrick Caleri.
and this is the workshop. Welcome, yay! So,
Yay!
The Window Workshop.
You guys don't know it, but we're all sitting in front of windows.
It's like Chekhov's window. It will come into play later on.
it's
Eventually.
It's Schrodinger's window. We're all sitting and not sitting in front of a window at the moment.
As far as they're concerned, I mean, they
Right?
can't see. Oh man, yeah, this rain's really coming down behind me.
Oh.
All right, I'll promise
Like,
that's the visual cues.
I feel like since we moved from South Carolina, it's just y'all have been getting all of the rain.
Oh my god, it's been terrible, and I'm so mad because my front shrub bed is my enemy because I am desperately trying to keep the plants alive that my mother planted while I was at work one day, and she came into town for a weekend, planted some stuff, and I'm very grateful. But two of them are just like super delicate and have almost committed suicide multiple times, and so I've taken it very personally. And so I'm really desperate to make that front bed look good. And now every time it rains, there's like a single spout of water that just drills a hole into all the mulch that I
Oh
just.
no.
So I have to get gutters, and I'm starting to think maybe buying a house was a mistake.
I have one sad little bush in front of my house, and it blooms for like a week throughout the entire year. And that one week, it's absolutely beautiful. And back in January, we had that a week's worth of snow. I was like, well, maybe it's finally dead, and I could pull it up and do a whole garden and everything, like I make a flower bed. It came back so pretty and just thick and vibrant and green. It's like a little old man, like, we needed this. Like, shut the hell up and die already. Like, my mom's
You've
out
been
there
on
wrapping
hospice for how long?
Alive.
Back in his day, we didn't even know about mitochondria.
We didn't know what the powerhouse of the cell was. We just operated on faith.
Yeah. We got planted here uphill in the snow both ways. And thanks to the dogs, there's nothing in the backyard. not, not even a little weed growing out of the sidewalk. That little messy one I got, Messy, the Basset Beagle. Like, we
Yeah.
had some dandelions coming up by the porch, and he took them little razors in his mouth and he just cleared it out. I can't plant anything back there. Nothing. He's just like, oh, a new chew toy. Dead. Dead
This
as
is
a
my
fart.
yard.
Yeah.
At least you don't have to cut
So,
the grass.
right? He might be part goat. My brother did have a goat on his little farm. That's where I got him from. So that his real dad might be the goat. You never know. So last week we had a fancy little writing prompt, and
We
our fancy
did.
little writing prompt was to write a poem about the woods and include a mushroom. All right. So did you guys do mushrooms this week, or?
I wrote a story, I mean, not a story, a poem while on mushrooms,
Hell yeah.
specifically
Nice.
for this prompt.
Hell yeah.
Nice. I
I'm
ordered
kidding.
mushrooms on
For
my
legal
pizza
reasons,
this
I'm
week.
kidding.
Yeah. Dear FBI agent. JK.
I bowed out of this one. I did not get anything written actually.
Gotcha. So this week was your drink.
This
Gotcha.
was my drink.
Yeah. All right. Well, Sarah, you want to start us off?
Sure. I can start us off. Let me go to the Discord. So, I was struggling so hard with this. And last week, whenever you said the writing prompt, I was so excited because, like, I haven't written poetry in forever, but I have not been able to write anything for the past like week and a half at least. So I really struggled. So what I did was there is one chapter in the story that I've been writing that I really, really, really love. And so I used that and kind of, molded it into a poem about mushrooms.
All
So
right. All right. I'm interested.
I did not name it though, so it's untitled.
Untitled. All the best works are.
Exactly. Okay. I no longer scream into pillows. They swallow too much of my noise. Now I scream into the throat of the forest with a voice as small as God's. The trees say nothing. The wind forgets my name. Moss recoils. Cypresses lean. The pine trees turn away. They know me here, and they are afraid of my spite. Good. I am ruin. Rotting grief in borrowed lace. Bones in velvet decay. I bring my lips to a hollowed trunk and scream until my lungs collapse, and I am forgotten tinder used only to spark desire and heat. The ground pulses beneath me like a heartbeat from hell. She sighs as I melt into the muddy moss and lay beside her mushrooms like pills on my bathroom floor. They whisper against my lips and kiss my cheeks, burying me inside their growing graves. The mushrooms feed on what I no longer need, my body and my rot black mind. I am not sober, but sobriety is for the weak. I am strong like the trees who bend at their knees to kiss the graves of those forgotten. They won't speak of my visions as I crawl on their beds. Only the mushrooms know of my plans, but they are too busy fiending for my ghost. Am I beautiful now? Do I rot pretty enough to deserve their praise? The end.
Ooh, me love.
Thank
That
you.
was so good.
I
Available in our Discord.
I think
Hey,
I believe I've read the part. So I have to go back and restart what I've read of your work, Sarah, because I now that I know I can comment, I'm gonna be like, okay, now I can actually work with that. But I think I'd already gotten to that point before I
You
decided to
probably
go,
have.
and so I recognized some of that. But I thought it was really cool. I thought it was really cool how you incorporated it into the prompt and as a more poetic, because I think it already had a bit of a those parts of your book that you're writing have more of a poetic tinge
Yeah.
to them than the regular narrative. But
Mhm.
I thought you obviously kind of took that to the nth degree. Um, it's funny. I don't know why, but I just assumed. So it's probably because I am surrounded by people that have like a lot of kitschy, like plushy mushroom things. But whenever I heard poem and mushroom, there's part of me that was like, "Oh, it's gonna be fun and whimsical." And it was
And
like,
then I'm like, ah.
"Oh, but that does fit though. That is good." Like, yeah, like
I
I don't
actually
know how you tied the mushrooms in.
I contemplated um writing just a regular poem and then reading it as Toad from the animated series.
That is an
Like,
incorporation of a mushroom.
yeah, like have you ever heard the way Toad speaks?
Yes.
Yeah.
You should still do
Roses
that.
are red.
Don't
But
do
I
that.
decided, yeah, I decided against it. I decided against it. All right, so let's see. I like ours kind of are themed together. I like that. We did a accidental. Oh, let's see. Parades of leaves dance past with no concept of tomorrow. No sorrow as the little shrooms grow, devouring the leaves. The little squirrels watch in awe. Belching and beckoning, the worms wrap themselves around the root of the problem. A totem of desperation, concurring misdeeds and despair. Hounds bellow for the woman who screams for her daughter who should have chosen the bear.
Wow.
I
Okay.
like that. That's a
All right.
really good ending.
Thank
Clever.
you.
Clever. Took me a second, but I got there. I'm hip. I know. I know.
Patrick, I
It's
had
a
a funny
really
feeling
good ending.
you're one of the very few men we would be in the woods alone with.
That's very flattering to hear. That's as someone I give all the credit to that to the fact that I grew up with two older sisters and no brothers. I just
Gotcha.
I was surrounded by women. Um, Good and bad because you end up as the little brother figure, and then you're just like, okay, well that's a complex in and of itself. But
I bet I bet hand-me-downs were a bitch.
yeah. Honestly, I sometimes think that mom just thought it would be like. I don't think she was ever disappointed. I just think she was just like, "Damn, this would have been so much more convenient if I could just make 3 for 3." Like,
Why can't we just call you Patricia?
all right, this
Mom,
one.
Mom, I don't want to wear a bra to school. I paid good money for that bra.
Oh man.
We do have one no, don't switch. We do have one community um entrance entry. That's the word I'm looking for.
There you
Hello,
go.
yes.
Yeah,
My
I
name is
read
Frankie
that one.
Valentine.
I feel like all of ours are kind of like intertwined. Like we all kind of have the same theme.
Like death becomes us, man.
Yeah.
All right, all right. I really should have written something upbeat to counterbalance this.
Something like the happiest mushroom. I don't know.
Yeah, friendly mushroom.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna read our entry from our friend Frank or dysnomia on Discord. Mycelial blister, deep underroot of forest expanded outward and under. You are the node, a cluster of synapse spreading wide and deep, conducts the growth through underbrush's haven. Haha, I wish I could read, y'all. This green blush, a painting in a window, is but your reflection, undertones brushed on from generations of biological thought. You send the signal, and we, mere surface dwellers, reap the reward of sticks and shade and wind and shadow, of life's own echo against inevitable reclamation. You will take back all you have given in a thrall of agony. Our visceral nutrition will seep in through filiate growth, and as you sup, create anew what once so proudly stood, this rot a testament to your everlasting psyche. Homeboy use big words,
Nice.
man. That was I visually stumbled like 8 times.
Nah,
Holy shit, that was
it's-
beautiful.
I
I
it's
have
really
fine.
like
invited
the
him.
huh?
Hmm? I have
I,
invited him to join us, but he often gets busy.
I
He's
feel
got
that.
yeah.
It happens.
No, I really like the way that poem is set up. I always struggle with
Yeah.
like how to format my poetry cuz I'm just not the best at poetry. Um and I feel like a lot of people they just know exactly how to format it so that way it flows and it's pretty, and mine's always just like I don't know, choppy.
Well, I think
That
poetry is so different of a skill. Not, I don't know. It's obviously in the writing genre in the wheelhouse, but it's so technical in a sense. Like for me, I just rhyme scheme eludes me. Like I automatically default to A B A B. Like, I don't either that or I'm writing limericks, and I'm like I don't know why that's just my I don't know why just my brain does not kind of fire in that direction. So if anything, I end up writing free verse, and I'm like, then why don't I just write prose?
Right.
Yeah.
I I used to think that way. Like, what is the point of free verse? Why would you just make it a prose? Why make it a poem? But like, it lends itself to expecting more of your reader, I guess. Because with prose, you can break it down. It doesn't have to follow anything. With poetry, you set the rule. It's
Mhm.
not like MLA format. Like if you want big long lines, you put them big long lines. You turn that paper sideways as long as you want them. You know. If you
Yeah.
want little short
Separate
choppy
orientation
things,
to landscape.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But like, I hate rhyming poetry. Like I'm okay with one or two internal rhymes in a poem, but the whole roses are red, violets are blue, that kind of A B thing, I don't know. I feel like that's reserved for music, and I cannot write music.
That's another thing. Like I don't know. So there's I think part of this is the ADHD, but like I just music and that kind of stuff. I will always like bob my head or tap my foot, and I really enjoy listening to music very loudly. So there's a part of me that's so hyper jealous because a lot of modern pop. It's got a catchy bass line, catchy beat, but it's not anything special. But then there are some songs that you listen, you're like, holy cow, this person like they were able to cut to the heart of this emotion in a way that blends sound and wordplay that is, and I've always been very jealous of that ability, and I don't know how you start. Like, do you write
Yeah.
lyrics? Do you just fiddle around for I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, and my mom actually writes her own country and western music,
Oh
and
wow.
some of the songs, pretty much every song she's written, I'm surprised is not on the radio. You know, like she's written some really good songs, and then I sit down and I try to write a song, and I'm like, blue, nothing,
There's
nothing.
nothing
Like,
that rhymes with blue.
no. And she's like, "Do you want a thesaurus?" I'm like, "What is a thesaurus?" Well, like her English teachers in the '80s. Haha, she's old. Anyway, her English teachers. She had an English teacher who like really drilled into them just the mechanics of writing poetry. So she popped out of the other side of that, a music writer. And she has some fantastic songs. She has one called Lovely Linda, and I'm like, this is so amazing. Why is it not on the radio? And she's like, oh, I'm like, oh. And we just sit there
I
looking at
didn't
each other
know
going,
that.
oh,
That's
oh yeah,
awesome.
yeah. And I cannot do rhymes because like Jay Udall, shout out Nichols Professor, Jay Udall actually taught us about letting the rhyme win over substance.
Mhm.
And if you listen to some of that dad rock, them rhymes be winning.
Oh yeah.
Like,
We're
don't worry
going to
about it,
watch
guys.
Creed
It's
this
gonna be a B
weekend,
side.
so
With arms wide open. Oh,
the When I was working at the organ shop, there was a kid that worked there briefly for like a few months that he did recording stuff. Like it's my power flicker, just so you guys know. So if I do cut out, um, he did some recording stuff in Nashville. Just he rented a booth and stuff, and he showed me a few of his things and I feel like you guys know how it goes when someone tells you they record and they're into music. So you kind of wait with your fingers crossed. And he played me his first song, and I was like, I looked at him like, I'll be honest, man. My first thought was, oh, thank God he's good.
yeah.
He was very very talented individual. His songs were very good. His voice was very distinct, and he had a very country, um, not so much stadium country, but more old school. But yeah, just hearing that first song, I was like, oh, thank God, I don't have to pretend I enjoy because I'm not smart enough about music to lie to you in a convincing way.
right.
So
Like I
Yeah.
really like that part where you yodeled. Like, oh, yodel?
I really liked the musicality of it.
My favorite
Yeah.
part was when the music stopped and then you stopped singing. It was fantastic, man.
Just
Do
fine.
that again.
I never realized how much I enjoyed silence until I listened to your music.
Like the song finishes and I'm like, wow, I envy deaf people. Well, we do have a prompt for next week.
All right,
It's
let's do it.
it's fairly simple. Finish this sentence. This was not supposed to happen. Dot dot dot.
That's
Oh
got
yeah.
the same. That's got the same energy of. I bet you. Or I bet you're wondering how I ended up here.
Yeah.
Freeze
Hi,
frame.
I'm Ryan, and my life is pretty crazy.
That was a deep
Okay.
cut.
But yeah, that's for next week. That will be in our Discord, probably tonight instead of tomorrow. Hey, did anyone else wake up from a nap today and find out Ozzy Osbourne kicked the bucket?
Not from
I
a
found
hat.
out. Okay. It's a whole thing that I have to talk about. So, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, my youngest sister started getting me to watch the Ozzy Osbourne show. Did y'all even know that was a thing?
I was vaguely
Yes,
aware.
I didn't know
I
that was a
own it on
thing.
DVD.
So I started watching that and I was like, these Osbournes are literally insane.
He's Osborne.
I did not know that Sharon Osbourne was as insane as she is. So we started watching that, and then I'm on Trisha Payta's TikTok right now. Do you know who that is?
No.
Unfortunately.
You said unfortunately.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm just kidding.
so
She's wonderful. Slay
um,
queen, fix your crown. Woo. Okay.
Patrick, I don't really know how to explain her other than she, I guess she got famous by being really annoying.
Valid, I guess.
So she's like a Kardashian.
Sure.
Little column A, little column B. Like, is that?
But anyway, on TikTok, it's a thing. Every time she has a kid, someone important dies. I found out today. So her first kid, she had like 3 years ago, and the queen died.
Oh
And
my!
then,
Martin
Starting
Stone
off strong.
list.
and
She
then
was the top.
2 years ago, she had her second kid, and I think the prince died. Prince, I don't know. He was 99 years old. I forgot his name. Anyway, the prince died.
Okay.
And so
Prince.
everyone's like, okay, who's going to die next? I found out today that she named her son Aquaman. And then,
Oh.
not even 30 minutes later, I find out that Ozzy Osbourne died. She killed him.
She killed Ozzy.
Yes,
Hey
someone
now,
told me
now
his name.
it is equally as likely that she killed Theo Huxtable.
Yes,
That's true.
which is if she named him Aquaman, Theo Huxtable died in a drowning accident, so it
Oh,
might
did
not
he?
have been Ozzy.
That's
Yeah,
sad.
he drowned. Yeah,
Jesus,
poor thing. Oh,
that's
I just
terrible.
wonder what
That's
they're gonna do with his character. Isn't he on like a medical drama right now
I'm sure. I
I
mean,
don't know.
with Logan from Gilmore Girls?
I don't know. Let's see.
I honestly have no idea what's going on. Is it if it's network television? I honestly could not tell you with a gun to my head. I mean, I
Yes,
do
the
know
only
this is apparently still going somehow, but
which one?
NCIS.
And Grey's Anatomy. And
Yeah,
the
I'm
reason
aware
for
of
this,
that. Unfortunately, that one usually plays in our house like every Thursday, so it's something I'm aware it's still going on. It outlived Supernatural. That I'm kind of impressed
right,
by.
right? And like I think my friend Abby, who I call Abby Normal, she said it best. They're gonna keep beating that dead horse until money stops popping out. So I'm pretty sure that's why Supernatural went ahead and ended when it did. The money stopped popping out.
Yeah, well, honestly, I wonder how much of it too was caused like by pandemic sort of limitations and whatnot. Just, I mean, that
Yeah.
I would not be. I know it was toward the end of its life cycle, but I wouldn't be surprised if they had gotten 2 more seasons out of it if it hadn't happened when all that was going on.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I stuck around till season 11, and then I was like, I'm out. Deuces.
He was
I
in The
made it to
Resident.
season.
Oh, the
Okay.
resident.
Yeah. Resident. Is that one still on?
No, it ended in 2023, according to Google.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Because I was wondering what they were gonna do with his character. Because like I started watching and Just Like That, which is the sequel to Sex and the City.
What are your
And
thoughts?
I think I stopped watching it after season 3. But
Good.
yeah. Like the very first episode, Big dies,
Yeah.
which is Carrie's husband. And then the actor who played I don't know his name, the bald headed guy,
Wasn't
Carrie's
he
gay
a
best
husband?
friend.
Oh, yeah,
Huh?
yeah, yeah. I remember. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. He
He
died, didn't he?
actually, yeah, he died in real life. And I
Yeah.
guess they were like, well, we don't want to kill two characters in like one episode. So they just had him leave his husband and become a monk. They're like, he found peace. I'm like,
Which
okay.
is like, yeah, how is that more of an honorable? Like, that feels like more of a disservice to the character than just saying, oh, he died, or, like,
Yeah.
that's awful.
Yeah.
Well, it's
But
kind of the Grey's Anatomy. It's the Grey's Anatomy trap of if your character's on for too long and you've tied them into all these other characters' lives, you have two options: turn them into a giant asshole or kill them.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
I my friend Diamond watched Grey's Anatomy first, and she was like, "What part are you on?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm on the plane crash." And she goes, "Oh, has McSteamy asked to see his daughter yet?" And I was like,
Who?
"No." Uh, like, what do you mean? She's like, "Just wait." I'm like, "No, tell me." She's like, "No, just wait." So I watched it, and I sent her a message, and it was just, "You bitch." How dare you not prepare me properly? But yeah, you're either an asshole or you die. And unfortunately for him, he got to be both.
Yeah, he ran. Trash TV.
Right? And she has the Shondaverse. The Shondaverse is full of.
Shonda Rhimes is
Oh,
my personal like enemy. She's I just like from a storyteller's perspective. Just Shonda, why?
at least if you're going to write a show about surgeons, know what surgeons do.
Yeah.
Like, go ahead, write your little show. But why the hell is a neurosurgeon doing general medicine in a show?
Right.
Like, I was like, "What's your specialty?" "Oh, I specialize in removing rose thorns from the anus." "So you have a cough, hey?" Like,
No, they're
four
all.
guys on the table. Huh?
I said no, they're all interchangeable, of course.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm a thorough thoracic surgeon. How's your dinosaur? Thoracic.
Yeah.
Nah, 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 nah. Oh, copyright. Sorry.
Struck.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think the people at MGM are coming to get us. They're the ones who do Jurassic Park, right? MGM.
Right.
I don't know. I don't even know. Is MGM still around? I don't.
I think.
I think
I
so.
think. Yeah.
I don't. Maybe, but I haven't seen The Lion in a while, so who knows? There's the Lion one, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Somebody was like, "Fun fact, that lion mauled his trainer." I'm like, how was that fun again?
It was
Who
fun.
was it fun? Fun for the lion, yeah.
It was a great time.
Yeah. Where, where's Bill? And the lion sitting there picking his teeth like, I have no clue, guys.
Well, it's I get. There's always those stories about like people that raise wild animals for however many years, and they're their best friends. Like, oh yeah, and then on a dime, the animal decided, oh yeah, I am still a wild creature, and mauls the hell out of them.
Right.
Did you see the story about the woman who had the pet snake and like it would lay in bed next to her, like
Oh my.
full length of her body, and it stopped eating. And she took it to the vet, and the vet was like, "So what's the problem?" She's like, "He's not eating. He just lays in the bed next to me at night, and he doesn't move. He's just there." And
Sorry.
he goes, "Yeah," and he's like, "Yeah, he stopped eating because he's measuring you and preparing to devour you." And she's like, "Oh, okay. So those aren't cuddles, right?" He's like, "No, those aren't cuddles."
Oh my god.
Just laying there in bed, stroking the snake's head, like, "Fluffy, what's wrong?" And Fluffy's
Fluffy's
sitting there
gonna
Googling recipes.
That's terrifying, honestly. I wouldn't be able to sleep after that.
eat.
I'd be like, so, hey Doc, you want to buy a snake?
That's when I switch back to mammals.
I'd get a fish. Like, you ain't gotta walk him, you just gotta feed him. Oh shit, sorry guys. I forgot to feed my fish. That's a hell of a way
Are
to
you
regret
looking at
that.
your fish?
Yeah, they're just like looking at me in the thing, just like, yeah, you're supposed to feed us. Remember? We don't have time. You open the jar.
You had one job.
And it's not even difficult. You ain't gotta cook it or nothing. They're happy though, I think. They got a barrel in there that says whiskey, so they're the best.
Hey, I've never heard a fish that complained. So
This is true. And apparently, if it's a goldfish, it won't remember that you mistreated it anyway.
That's kind of sad, though. I mean, it's good that they don't remember, but like that means they don't remember you.
Oh,
then,
sad.
then they get to rediscover the magic of meeting you every day. I mean, I don't know how long their attention span is. Like,
I think it's like 10 seconds. But like,
Oh my god!
what?
I'm so,
Hell.
Or they're just like, I'm hungry.
That is literal hell.
Cool. Just swimming around, there's like a little skeleton man on the bottom blowing bubbles. He's like, the fuck is that? Oh, okay. 10 seconds later, the fuck? Oh, yeah, okay. Like the worst version of that movie, Momentum.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I feel like there is the beginning of a horror story in that concept though. Like you have a shortening attention span, or not attention span, but short-term memory loss, and it starts, you've got a year and then you've got 9 months. I mean, essentially I'm just describing a descent to dementia, but it's, if you rate it as a certain way from a first person point of view, that could be an interesting.
All right, well, go ahead and write it.
Oh god. I feel that happening too much to explore it.
We expect first draft Halloween. We get to the Halloween episode, and Patrick's like, "What are you guys talking about?" Genius.
Halloween episode. Patrick's reading the first draft of this horror story.
I'm the idea guy. I don't know what you're talking about.
Just like, I forgot, guys. Don't worry about it. Fine. So we wanted to talk about world building, which we kind of have with the Shonda Rhimes thing, because she built a world where surgeons aren't surgeons, really.
And they're all hot for some reason.
Yeah. Like, I've never met a surgeon, like, well, I can't say that, but I've never just walked into a hospital and been like, yes, I will sleep with everyone here. Let's do this.
Yes, please.
Pardon me, Dr. McSteamy. I'll be over here in bed 7.
It doesn't matter that I'm terminally ill.
Yeah. It's like, hey, baby, you want to get together tonight and cut my LVAT wires? Hey.
I feel like a deleted scene from season 1 is just a patient going up to the front desk. Yes, ma'am. This hospital is dangerously horny. I don't know. I wouldn't have said anything, but at this point, it's becoming a health concern. It's a safety issue.
Some poor old granny, like, rolls herself to the front desk. Is like, nurse, can I get a new room? There's 2 doctors just going ham. Like, I went to pee, I come back, scrubs on the floor, there's a stethoscope hanging from the ceiling. Like, I understand you gotta blow off some steam, but you don't have to blow the entire 3rd floor.
You don't have to blow McSteamy.
Yeah.
It's like how, like, the millennial thing is to add alcohol to any event. The Shonda Rhimes thing is, we'll just make everybody sexy in this profession as well. Like, why not, right? I mean, they're all...
Like, you want to be healthy? Get yourself an ugly doctor. He'll have time for you.
Right.
These doctors are too busy with their own personal drama.
Like, I was gonna go into surgery, but the doc saw a mirror and he's like a budgie. He's just sitting there googling himself, oogling and
Honestly,
ogling.
I feel like there is deep potential in a show about the law team that has to defend this hospital from all the malpractice claims. Like just
Yes.
Shonda, if you're listening, we want our check. Workshop.
she
Everyone
has
gets a new
not
microphone.
explored that realm yet.
She has quite a few shows, though. I know there are several that like spun off from Grey's Anatomy, but doesn't she have some that have nothing to do with Grey's Anatomy?
I'm sure she
To
does.
IMDb.
Yeah, that's it. Our best friend.
Yeah. And my thing is dead. Wait. We're just everyone put a pause on.
This is now the Shonda cast.
Like she has like okay, there she is. Producer, Grey's Anatomy. She has why did SpongeBob come up? No? Scandal! Okay.
Oh, that was it.
Y'all, she wrote Crossroads.
Wait, what?
It's right here. Known for Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, Private Practice, and Crossroads. The 2002 Britney Spears movie.
Oh my god, full circle.
Okay.
All right, I feel like so this is the end of the podcast, right?
Yeah.
It just ties up in a bow so neatly.
Dude, she's even an executive producer on Bridgerton.
Yeah, see,
Dang.
all of that tracks, I feel.
I don't know. The Britney Spears one is a little that's out there.
Hey, you gotta start somewhere. Let's see. Writer, Grey's Anatomy, Station 19, How to Get Away with Murder, Queen Charlotte,
Wait a minute.
Black
So
Coffee.
I think I'm accidentally conflating two things in my mind because we did not speak about Crossroads on this show, did we?
No.
No.
Okay, so that was my brother-in-law just complaining about it in the recent past. Quite literally,
Yeah.
within the last week, he was complaining about what was the context? I can't remember, but he just went on a rant about the movie Crossroads and how much he hated it. It was the first I'd
Hold
ever
on.
heard of that movie.
Yeah, so in 2002, she wrote Crossroads. Then she did the screenplay for the Princess Diaries 2 Royal Engagement.
Huh. Wow. Okay.
Well, the Shondaverse is making more sense. She earned it.
She did.
Yeah, and then like right after that, she started writing Grey's Anatomy stuff, and then that's
Never
all it is: Grey's Anatomy and Private Practice and Scandal. Scandal is not. I don't think it's a Grey's Anatomy.
No, I don't think
I
it's
don't think
related.
so.
I know the firefighter show that she did was related.
Yeah, because of Ben. I love Ben. He's awesome.
I like how they just keep
Shut
bouncing.
up.
I like how they just keep bouncing in between shows after one ends. Like, all right, you still have a job. We like you.
Like, yeah, you're still on Grey's, but you also need to head your own show as well. Because we really want to give you 2 paychecks at a time, sir. I don't know. He's a good actor. He's a very good actor. I appreciate his ability to take her writing and make it decent.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I will say that in terms of world building, I don't know if we can give Shonda Rhimes. I don't know what we can say about her process, but I will say that if any show is going to make the switch to being written by AI without like just as testing the waters, it's gonna be a Shonda Rhimes show.
Yeah.
At this point, half the time that I hear the opening monologue to a Grey's Anatomy, I'm just like, I know it's been 20 seasons. It's hard to write a monologue every episode, but like sometimes I'm like, what even is this metaphor that she's drawing? This does not sound like a real person.
No.
Yeah. I haven't
And
even watched
sometimes,
much of Grey's Anatomy, but I just I just can't. Like my attention span can't sit there for that long with it just doesn't it's not real. It just doesn't seem real, and so I can't get into it. I
if
don't
you can
know.
overlook the malpractice suits that are supposed to be taking place in this show, the drama, the soap opera ness of it is good. I appreciate the characters. I appreciate their stance on things and how they interact with each other. But had she read one Wikipedia article about what surgeons do,
Just one.
yeah, just a little one, not even a long one. The synopsis, the little blurb of the back flap, if you will. She could have killed it, you know.
I think so. For me, the weirdest thing about it as a show, I think it flirts and it toes the line with being at a time just sadness porn. In it, if that makes any sense, like it is. There's such thing as catharsis, yes, but I think there is also something to be said about it feeling good to be feel sad. And, you feel like you're allowed to feel sad, but I don't know. There's something about a show that uses that and sort of uses that as an addictive property is icky to me.
Yeah, yeah. Like the first few seasons, it's like, oh well, they've ripped my soul out of my kneecaps again. Guess I'll go on to the next episode. But now every episode, someone dies, someone's born. It's getting to the house thing. I don't know if you guys ever
Yeah.
watched the show House.
Yeah.
Like mystery patient comes in, he wants drugs, he had a seizure. House does some drugs and then credits. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the whole
I am
show.
watching House right now. I'm rewatching it, and I said shit about Grey's Anatomy, but like House is like there's so many malpractice suits, and it's not real at all. So
All right.
honestly, my argument doesn't stand.
Like if
Here,
my
let's.
if my doctor comes in and does my medication for me, I'm going to sue. Like
Yeah.
how did my Percocet make you taking my Percocet help me? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, like I just watched an episode where he forcibly gave someone drugs, and like the guy's just like, "Well, you saved my life, so it's fine."
No, it's not fine.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's also an episode, and correct me if I'm wrong, Sarah, but I'm pretty sure there's also an episode of The House where one of the doctors, I think it's the Australian guy, kisses an underage girl because she said
Yes,
she never had a kiss. And
yes,
that,
I just watched that episode.
Kaylin was watching that, and I walked in and I was like, that's not okay.
That is for everyone listening. That is season 2, episode 2, because I just watched it.
that is very much
I'm
not
so glad
okay.
I stopped at season one.
She
So glad
literally
I stopped
said,
at season one.
"I've never kissed anyone, and I have terminal cancer, so I'm never going to. Please kiss me." And he was just like, "Fine." And then he told
No.
people, and they didn't do anything about it. House was just like, "You kissed her, didn't you?" And he's like, "Well, she asked."
People ask things all the time. No is a valid answer. No
You
is the most valid answer there is.
were a doctor.
Right. Like, bad world
need-
building.
Yeah, there needs to be a medical class like in med school that's mandatory. That's just them watching Grey's Anatomy, House,
Yes.
even a couple episodes of Scrubs, where like the professor just stops the video and goes, "No, don't."
From
How
no,
many
no,
malpractice
bad
suits did
doctor.
you see in that scene?
From what I hear, at least out of all their shows, the one that has the most technical terminology that is correct, not anything with, you should not do what these characters do, but the one that is the most technically correct is Scrubs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. At least the first 8 seasons. We don't talk about season 9. It can't hurt us.
I haven't even watched all of Scrubs, so I don't know.
Scrubs was my comfort show for like the longest. Like that
Really?
was I watched that on repeat constantly. I
See,
failed a
Bones
math
was
class
mine.
because of that show. I never could get into Bones. Like I'd try to sit down, watch it, and then my mind would go somewhere else. I'm like, oh, shit, the show's over. Okay, I'll go to bed now. Like,
Yeah,
I
I feel like
couldn't.
it takes a long time to like for things to get interesting if you're not into that type of thing.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know if
watched
I've
the
ever
first
had a
five
show
seasons.
that always kept the one. I mean, I watched. No, I think it's just different phases of my life. So I'll watch certain things at different points. Like I watched Supernatural a bunch, like the first 5 seasons, because it was super heavy on the horror aspect without being too scary. So I was like, cool, that's my
Yeah,
speed. I can do that. I always rewatch The Last Airbender because that's just my childhood right there. Um, but no, I don't have. I'll do my favorite things to rewatch recently have been like the Modern Families and stuff like that. The sitcoms where well in the same ways, sort of Scrubs, where it's like the setting doesn't change. The characters grow in the setting and they continue interacting with each other. I like those kind of those feel good
Yeah.
sitcoms.
yeah, yeah. I was born and bred on soap operas. So like at age 10, I had a favorite soap opera. It was Guiding Light, and I shipped Reba and Josh before I knew what shipping was. Like they were my OTP, and I'm just sitting there like they cheated on each other again. They're getting remarried. A new baby. Oh, the show ended. Shit. Me and my mom recently started watching Dallas, which
I've
is
heard
a
of that.
soap opera from the late 70s, mid 80s, somewhere in there. And the whole show was on Amazon, free to watch with ads. And we're like, oh my God. And we started watching it, and like we crochet, and the show would be on, and we made it through like the first couple seasons. July 1st, they sold the rights or lost the rights or whatever. So
No.
I'm like, what's going to happen to Bobby? And she's like, I can't tell you. So and like the world of Dallas is phenomenal. Like
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
speaking of world building, like each character is their own, and like yeah, it's kind of cheesy and soap opera drama and all that, but the whole point is that's where it started. It wasn't cheesy back then. It was sure enough. This is the standard,
Mhm.
and that show is also where the "It Was All a Dream" comes from
Oh, really?
because yeah, there are three brothers, Jr., Gary, and Bobby, and everyone loved Bobby, played by not Joe Diffie. What's his name? He was the dad on Step by Step
I don't know.
Can't help you
on
there.
IMDb. Um,
I'm to be your best
but
friend.
like everyone loved him, and then in an episode he gets killed, and people went ape. And there's a whole season where Pam has to like deal with the fact that Patrick Duffy Pam has to deal with the fact that he's dead. The family grieves everything, and it was such an upset to their watchers that the last episode of that season, Pam wakes up in the morning and the shower turns off, and Bobby walks out of the shower, and she's like, "Oh my God, you're alive!" And
It
I'm
was
just,
a dream.
Dang, they had to oh my gosh. So
Coward.
yeah,
was that like the
which
plan all along or was it because people were so angry?
it was because people were so angry, I think, and
Ooh,
like
couldn't stand the ground.
which actually made the
Wow.
entire season null and void. So
Yeah,
everything shitty that JR didn't happen. It didn't matter.
that would
I actually
just
have
fuck you up, man.
right now. Now the writers are sitting there going, "What the fuck are we supposed to do next season?
Right.
I guess JR again. I don't know." I actually have a button. One of the seasons ended with JR getting shot, and all you see is the gun. You don't see who shot him. So there was a big like who shot JR thing, and I have a vintage button that I got from a not an old folks home, an antique store, and it says who shot JR. You know them old
Old
folks
folks.
just
kind of
telling shit.
the same thing at this point.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. But it was a big thing, and like people were so in love with the character and the show and everything, they had to like we're gonna lose all of our viewers if we don't do something. So
Wow.
Patrick, baby, how you doing? You want a job back?
You want easy money.
Yeah, we can
Wow.
triple your salary.
I think it's kind of interesting that even with shows like that in the genre, that doesn't it doesn't it's a good show in its genre, and I think that's an important aspect. So talk about world building as we have been, obviously. Um, the the you match your medium to your mode, you match your genre and your world building. Like something that would be ridiculous in a certain setting would never be ridiculous in a soap opera, because that's the point
Right,
of the soap. You want to have fun with it, and it's about
right,
having the freedom to explore that form in its entirety. I think that's why it's important too to write in different styles, because you'll be able to play around, you'll be able to find different blends, um, and really just find your particular style in those different areas.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like in both like shows and stories, it's so much easier to world build a place that kind of already exists. Like I don't really write um uh fantasy. I haven't written much fantasy at all. And so I don't really need to build a world from nothing. Like fantasy writers have to create this whole new world and they have to make it super real. Whereas if I'm writing realism, I can just look outside and be like, oh yeah, the tree is green. Yes, let me bring in those
yeah.
colors. Instead of like, this tree is gold and it drops teardrops or whatever. So I think whenever I'm trying to world build, I think not that I don't have good tips or things like that, but I don't know. I just think in shows like, you know, Grey's Anatomy and House and the stories that I write, the one that I'm writing is based in New Orleans. Like, it's so much easier to create those worlds because you can look at TV shows and you can look at, you know, news articles and videos and things like that to pull from. Whereas Harry Potter, for example, that is a whole different world, literally. Like, so I think that's tough.
What was nice being an American reading those, you could just go, "Oh, this is just England," and you wouldn't have to think too hard.
and in that same vein, it is, as someone that enjoys high fantasy, it is hard. You're right, because you want to create a world that's unique, that's its own standalone thing. And after someone like as prolific as Tolkien and then C.S. Lewis, people that did literally set the template, you're like, okay, how do I distinguish myself? How do I make this different? I think a good cheat, and one that I often use, is it's not too different from yours, Sarah. You just look to reality. And I think you can do the same thing when you're writing fantasy. You just maybe have to time shift a little bit. There are so many cultures, so many time frames in human history that we know little to nothing, or at least the modern human knows little to nothing about. Exploring those and taking or using those cultures and those historical events as inspiration, I think is perfectly valid. I think we've been doing it for as long as we've been telling stories. We've just been repackaging actual history. Um, so I think, like, you learn about a certain tribe, Celtic tribe in Northern Europe that we know a few customs from, and you take from that. I think you can build a fantasy world out of reality. It's just taking the bits and pieces that are less obvious to people. And it's research, but honestly, with Wikipedia and stuff, it's not that hard. I mean, you literally just
Mhm.
jump between links, you gain some knowledge. Um, Now, I would warn against repackaging entire culture and then labeling it as your own. You
Yeah,
you have to find the blend. But I think
sure.
you can still look to reality for inspiration. It's just slightly different.
Yeah, I have some stories that I've written, and I've always wanted to set things in my hometown, but I also don't want people in my hometown to know I'm writing about them. So
Yeah.
I've actually I've created my own little town, like in my head, called Clayville, and it is a combination of the three towns I grew up in. You know, it's all of those in one. And like, if you look at it, you're like, oh, I know where this is. It's in this town, but why is it over here? And it kind of gives you a little bit of freedom, but also kind of reins you in at the same time because
Hmm.
it is your own world, but you don't have to reach too far to get what you need. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
which so it's kind of like building your own cage. That makes sense.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
I guess the fun part is too that you don't. It doesn't have to necessarily be set in stone at any point. I mean, that's. I think that is a danger inherent to world building is in fantasy and other things too, but especially in fantasy. You can get so lost in it. I mean, I've written entire notebooks full of like, this is what this world will look like, and this is what these people sound like, and then you never write a word about the actual story, and
yeah,
that's such a big trap because then you feel like you've written it all out already. Um, so I think you've got to pull the trigger when you have enough information, and I think you can, as you go, still incorporate things. Sometimes you'll come across a piece of your writing and realize, oh, I need to figure this out before I can proceed.
yeah,
But I think that's a natural part of the process.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think a couple weeks ago we talked about overdeveloping characters. I think overdeveloping your world is also a really big problem because then you can't fit your characters in it because it's like it nothing fits in there except for what you put there. Um and so I agree. It's kind of like you have to get the bare bones, you get enough information, enough meat and potatoes, and then start writing and see where it goes and refill the plate whenever you need to.
yeah. It's really it's also a balancing act between your broad strokes and your fine lining, because like if I want my characters to be from a town where everything is neon, I need to describe that town, but if I go into every single little detail about Main Street, I've lost my plot, you know? If
Yeah.
I just say Main Street, full of neon, here's one big description of how everything is bright and it's always daytime because the sun goes down, but the neon don't. And then we go into this one specific place, and I need to describe things in that one specific place. That's better than narrowing it to every single storefront, every single neon light. You gotta find your broad strokes and your fine lines and keep it balanced because you can lose an audience quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
And
For
in chapter
sure.
17, we finally learned the protagonist's name. Like we done.
Right.
Well, so talking kind of going into detail about that. I've always found my biggest struggle, not my biggest, one of my largest struggles has been always character descriptions, especially in. I guess it really doesn't matter if it's first or third person. But so I think we all are aware of the I looked in the mirror trope. Like, and I mean, I think we've all been guilty of it at some point, but like, I've yet to find a way that I think is a natural tee up or a setup for a character self description. Where it's like, oh, my sister commented on my jeans that are this color, which match my complexion and also my hair and my eye. Like it just, I've never found a natural way to do it, and so I found that I can go through an entire story and I'd be like, oh yeah, I never really said what the main character looks like, did I?
Yeah. I
It's
so
easier.
go ahead.
Hmm? It would be easier in third person if you ask me, because you can say like, he looked in the mirror as he was shaving, he saw his scars, blah 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 blah. But if your main character is looking like, I looked in the mirror, I counted my freckles, I curled my hair, like, all right, no one cares.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I feel like us, like, in reality, whenever we look in the mirror, we're like, oh my God, like, I have a pimple. I'm so ugly. Like, we look at the negative thing. So you're not going to be looking in the mirror being like, oh, I'm so muscular. Like,
It's just
my
jawline.
chiseled jaw.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like,
I have my father's nose.
Right? Yeah. I realized that the main character in my story, like, I know what he looks like, obviously, but I haven't described him at all. And just like you, Patrick, like, I'm going through the whole story and I'm like, no one knows who this guy looks like. So now I have to go back and, like, okay, so I know he has glasses. I haven't mentioned at all that he has glasses.
Yeah.
I feel like eventually that's going to matter. Maybe it won't, but
Maybe it already has. I don't know.
yeah, I think
That's an
that's why
easy
I'm in a
fix.
writing slump right now, because I'm just like second guessing everything.
Honey,
I
that's
don't
an
know.
easy fix. He woke up, picked his glasses up off the bedside table, and slipped them on his nose.
See,
Done!
see,
I don't know
Yeah.
why it's just on his nose, but
see. I can't ever write a character having glasses because at some point they will dramatically set them down to make a point, and then they will not pick them up again, and I'll forget about that. And then I guess they won't have glasses. Like my character will point that I'm like, "Tay, is he ever gonna pick his glasses up?" Oh, I guess
He's not
A
black
great-
anymore.
oh my god, a great way to do that, like if you're writing, like have your character take the glasses off and then the font changes and it's like really fuzzy and blurry.
That would be
And
so
then-
cool, though.
And then he puts it back on and the font goes back to
Oh my God. That would be
Yeah.
amazing. Like
And then
having one of those like big like large font books and then it go to like 11 points.
And like for the audiobook, you just have the person like cover their mouth. He slipped his glasses off.
Or really, really far away from the mic.
And then
That would be so good. Write it. That's the Christmas episode.
Oh god, we've got a Halloween and a Christmas already lined up.
Could you think if Shonda Rhimes did it? He slipped his glasses off and then put his hand up her blouse. I began to diagnose her. He put his glasses back on and realized it was cancer.
And also that he couldn't see, so he misdiagnosed.
All right, wrong patient.
Once he put his glasses back on, he realized it wasn't cancer. It was simply an M&M stuck in her fat phone.
Wait,
Shonda
speaking
Rhimes,
of
where's my
M&Ms,
money? Oh, God. What a segue!
the book I'm reading right now,
Oh God.
I've read it already, and like I said, I'm in a writing slump, I'm in a reading slump, I just can't find anything, so I'm rereading books.
Fair.
One of the characters takes a handful of Skittles and M&Ms and eats.
Together?
And I had to yes! I had
Was he
to
not wearing
rewind it
glasses?
and be like, wait, I heard that wrong. They didn't do that.
Psychopath behavior.
She was like Skittles and M&Ms and popped them in her mouth.
That's wrong.
Girl, what is wrong with you?
That's wrong.
Our hashtag for this week, hashtag no gummy chocolate. Hashtag not my M&Ms.
No, my M&Ms. Unless the green M&M is wearing the high heels, I don't want it.
Yeah.
I want to be confused when I see an M&M's commercial.
Well, guys, we have naturally come to the 1 hour mark. It's time to bid our listeners farewell.
Adieu.
And parting is such sweet sorrow,
Yeah.
I guess. Is anybody out there?
Subscribe to our
just have
Patreon.
Yeah. Episode 1 only cost $15. It's fine. You could have listened to it free, but you didn't.
Once you subscribe, we might put content on there. I don't know.
Hey, who knows? We should make one of those. I don't know. Maybe not.
I'll subscribe.
We'll figure.
Sarah keeps paying us $17 a month.
I'll make Victor subscribe too. We'll have 2 subscribers coming from the same household, same paycheck.
My sister owns a bar. I'll make her patrons subscribe. Like, your patrons
There you
are my
go.
patrons now.
There you go.
With every drink, she gives out a card with a QR code to become our patron.
Every
All
night
right,
at 10
and a
o'clock, she
friendly-
starts playing our podcast.
Like, some guy's playing pool. And it's just like,
Quick.
some guy's playing pool, and he's just like, man, now I really want to go home and watch Grey's Anatomy for some reason. All right, and just a friendly reminder, our writing prompt for this week. Finish this sentence. This was not supposed to happen, ... That will be in our Discord if you would like to join our Discord. Too bad! Just kidding. I'll put the link in the thing downstairs. All right, guys. See you next week.
Adios.
Adios, amigos.
Bye.
Bye.